to board policy. Did you want to take from here on, or do you want to get the next one? What did you want to do? Well,
You tell me.
well, let's turn it over to you, and should be a simple one.
Okay. We will ask Director Rasmussen and AAG Brian Quisenberry to move on to item number 10, which is Board Policy 2001.
Thank you, Chair. Ben Rasmussen, Director of Law and Professional Practices. Good to be with you this afternoon. There's a minor revision proposed to Board Policy 2001. This deals with board member compensation. The revision is at the top of page 2 and is intended to address the fact that board leadership are attending more board leadership meetings per month than just one. And so the proposal is just to allow them to be paid for up to 2 board leadership days per month.
Thank you. Board Member Cannon?
I'd like to make the motion that we approve the amendment to Board Policy 2001.
Second, Booth.
Discussion to the motion. Board Member, would you like to discuss to your motion, Board Member Cannon?
Well, just briefly, I at one point in time had an opportunity to serve in board leadership, and we didn't get any compensation to speak of for it, but I know there are many, many meetings, many responsibilities, untold hours that are volunteered by leadership, and I think our present leadership has done an outstanding job for us, so I'm in support of this.
Thank you. Board Member Hart?
Is that enough? I'm not sure. I mean, I don't mean that facetiously. I'm asking, is that enough?
I'm going to take a chair prerogative, and now I see why Chair was trying to get rid of this one, because I didn't realize this was the topic you were passing over.
You can hand it back.
It makes us in a little awkward position. We didn't ask for this necessarily. We have multiple meetings a month, many more than 2. But someone noticed that and suggested that we add another meeting to this. I don't think, and I'm going to speak for us and whoever follows us, and Brian would like to speak too, but I don't.
I guess I'd like to direct the question to someone other than someone in leadership. Can someone, I want to make sure that we do this right and not just halfway do something. Can you speak to that?
I can if I may, Chair. As we're all aware, leadership meets weekly. It's not even twice a week. And so in that light, this still does not fully, in my opinion, compensate leadership for the time they spend a week. This is paying them twice a week. It's twice a month or every 2 weeks for meetings. So it is a step in the right direction. But to answer your question, no.
Follow up?
Go ahead.
What's our budget here? Or are we looking in the couch cushions again?
Do not know.
I mean, where does this money come from?
So,
Wow.
Board Member Lear has her light up too, but after Deputy Superintendent Jones, Chair would like to say something.
Yes, Deputy Superintendent of Operations Scott Jones, hopefully for a little while longer. Yes, you absolutely did. We did our due diligence, and you have enough funding in the board's budget to support this. I mean, obviously, we'd have to monitor, how many meetings, and if there was ever an issue, we would let you know. So,
My question was, do we have money for 3?
yes, you do. I'm going to go away now. Thank you.
I'm going to join you. Go ahead, Chair Huntsman.
Oh, I still have my light on.
So, yes.
Oh, did you skip me on purpose?
Well, I made a mention that Chair wanted to weigh in before we went to you, but are you?
Sorry.
are you okay if we go to Board Member Lear first?
Okay. I thought he was on there because he was the chair. But I think this reading this policy is what prompted my thinking. I'm not ready yet. I think we've got to do a little more reconnaissance before we see if what I was thinking is a good idea. And kind of also test out maybe what the perception would be and all those kinds of things. I personally, but it is this policy that prompted me to say, we, especially as a big board leadership does much more than, sometimes, no offense, Janet, than the boards I worked with. And I don't mean that they worked also very hard, but it's even harder where there are more voices to manage and more concerns, and things are more sophisticated. So I absolutely think that we should do this now, but I don't want to lose the thought that there might be something else and more we should do to make being a board leader a possibility and an equitable situation for anybody on the board. I feel like I'm in a really lucky position to be able to be on the board, have retirement, have Social Security, all that stuff. But and not everyone is at that stage in their lives. So I just want it to be a possibility for any elected board member, and I don't want to lose that plan. But this is a great first step. I totally support it.
Board Member Hanson. Oh, sorry, Board Member Earl.
Yeah, I wonder if the language could better reflect maybe even once a week, which suggests 4 times a month, but I wonder if just that it reflective of that if necessary. It sounds like that's what the common practice is currently as far as your frequency of meetings, if not more. So, just a thought.
Oh, yeah,
And
Altogether, so
Board
that
Member
would be that.
Hanson.
Certainly in support of this as a first step, I guess, to helping out with the tough job that leadership has done and will do in the future. But I think it's important for the public to know when we talk about compensation, this is not full compensation for any missing a day of work or anything like that. I think we're talking, $200 and some odd as far as compensation. So that's the magnitude of what we're talking about, just so the public understands that.
Thank you. AAG Quisenberry.
One more data point to consider is in the legislature, the speaker and the president each get paid $5,000 a year just for being in that role. I think the majority and the minority leaders get $4,000 a year just for being in that role as additional compensation on top of their per diem.
Thank you, Chair Huntsman. Board Member Hart, do you need
Yeah,
to
I just
come back?
wanted to say that this benefits all of us, because when leadership is organized and like they are, obviously meetings run smoother, issues are resolved quicker. This isn't just paying somebody for what they do. It's making sure that the board is running efficiently and effectively for what we need to do to meet our mission. So I want to make sure that we're really stating what this does. It doesn't line anyone's pockets. It simply is making betterments for our board work. Just wanted to make that point.
Thank you. Chair Huntsman.
If I could speak to what's being proposed here, it's just a step to the better place. It's from a leadership's perspective, it's not about leadership compensation because we're not like some attorneys that's going to bill every hour. No, I don't want to put down the attorneys in the room, or engineers that are into this, but sometimes it creates a little bit of fatigue, and it could on people that you put in leadership. That in the old days, when I was first on the board, you had one leadership meeting, one executive meeting. You had an evening of committees, and the following day you push that committee work forward. And you were done in very short order time. Needs are different right now in public education and its evolution. And I just go back to how fast you guys reacted to when COVID. So of course, we're all smart. We're experts today. But when it was first hitting, there's a lot of fear and a lot of things, and we were adjusting cells. I think getting into the space is a step to the better, and it's not even close to a budget killer. And I think it's tight enough that people aren't going to get a camping permit and become career politicians out of it. Then I don't think any of us signed up for that. There's another space in here that's very awkward as a chair, is when I'm asking people to serve on committees, and statute, there isn't to be a reimbursement, but yet you still have to drive. You still, there's those reimbursements, and I think it's just a little bit to the better, but it's not going to fix everything. So, are you ready for a motion, or did you get a motion?
I have a motion.
You have a
Did we get
motion?
second?
Did you get the second? Okay.
All right, seeing no other lights, we have a motion on the floor to, that the board approves policy 2001, draft 1 on final reading. As amended. No, we didn't amend.
No. As correct.
Okay. Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That motion passes unanimously. Thank you.